Amidst all that is happening around us, one of the important data points which has actually seemed to escape the people and common folk, we wanted to bring it front and center, is the drastic and staggering drop, if we may say, strikingly surprising. These numbers are absolutely unbelievable. In the poverty rates in Bharat, viewers, between 2011, 2012 till in the last 10 years, if we were to say 2022, 23. So there has been a significant drop from 53.6% to 16.4%. That's the drop in just the last decade in the higher poverty numbers. And in the extreme poverty numbers, it's dropped from 12.2% to 2.2%. Joining us now is Sri Gourav Vallabh. He has just been newly inducted into the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council. He's a professor himself. He's been an ardent follower of economic policy and economics, along with being a very well spoken spokesperson. And for different parties, who's done his job fantastically. I've got immense respect for him. Gaurav ji, namaste. Thank you very, very much.
Namaste.
How would you read these numbers? This has been released by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, and I'm quoting from that, and we'll come to the some parts of which are the states which have shown. But for this number from 53.6%, when we define higher poverty, it's been defined as they live on about $3.2 PPP or less than per day. So that's their purchasing power parity theory, which is about $3.2. $3.2 Indian cents में करेंगे करीब आप पकड़ लीजिए 200 250 रुपए 300 रुपए पकड़ लें 250 रुपए पकड़. So 250 rupees, who are earning 250 rupees per day, that is about 6,500-7,000 ruपया per month. That was the higher poverty. Is that how we should look at it?
Anandji, first of all, we have to understand the numbers, why these drastic reduction in poverty had come. What are the reasons? One has to understand that in last 11 years, if we eliminate 2 years of Corona when we had a negative GDP growth, and then we have a recovery where a very high GDP growth, because these are abnormal years, if we eliminate that, in last 11 years, our average GDP growth was 7.1%. And average inflation in the economy in last 11 years, including the Corona years, was around 4.2, 4.3%. I'm talking about CPI. So high growth, low inflation, and with a sustained dedicated effort for the poverty elimination and eradication. I will give you 4-5 examples. When we say that our infrastructure spending got increased, or capex in the budget got increased from 2% to 3.1% of GDP, where it goes? It goes in the construction of new roads. It goes in laying down the new rail network. It goes for the electrification of the existing rail network. It goes for the construction of the new ports, and that is evident in the data. Like the road network, the increase in national highway in last 11 years is 55,000 kilometers. 55,000 kilometer नए road जुड़ी है. As far as the new rail networks are concerned, the increase in the new rails were 31,000 kilometers. New rail network was added in last 11 years. As far as the port turnaround days is concerned, it is 0.9 days, less than the developed nations and Singapore. As a result, our World Bank's logistic index, our rating got improved by the 16 spot points in last 11 years. And now coming to the very dedicated effort for the poverty eradication, I will say these are the 3 primary pillars of getting this data. Number 1, 50 crore Ayushman cards for having the health for up to 5 lakh rupees of the health spending. Number 1. Number 2, the tape connection, the fresh water tape connection were 3.23 crore in 2014, which got increased to 15.6 crore in 2024. And last but not least, 10 crore new toilets were constructed under the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and 9 crore new LPG connection. So quality of life is got improved. The extreme poverty eradication had come. 27 crore, and to be precise, 26.9 crore people had come out of the extreme poverty as per the World Bank data. So this had happened because of the dedicated delivery in those sectors.
Okay. But there are two ways to look at it. One, that इतने सारे नलके लगे हैं, इतनी सारी सड़कें बनी है, तो कहीं labor has been involved. So the labor would have been paid. तो उनकी आमदनी has gone up. Their income would have gone up. Because if there is so much infrastructure work that has been laid, people would have been employed, and there would be money that would have come. The other point, Gourav Vallabh ji, is this entire food security aspect. That nearly about 80 crore people are getting food security, and they've been assured food security for another 5 years. How much of that makes a difference? That
See,
if you take away this food security net, कि हर महीने 5 किलो आपको राशन खाने का और along with that आपको मिल रहा है, if you take that out, will these numbers then suddenly change?
See, Anandji, a lot of people used to criticize this. But in a country like India, I personally feel, as a student of economics, I personally feel what is wrong in that. If we are helping the people of the country to improve the quality of life, we are giving good health service to them with Ayushman, we are giving the employment to them in the form of the infrastructure spending, the capex by the government of India. We are providing the quality of education for their kids. We are providing the hygiene factor in their life by constructing the toilets. We are improving their ease of living the life by giving LPG connection. We are providing 6,000 rupees per annum in the form of the Kisan Samman Nidhi to more than 9 crore farmers, farming families of our country. So these programs are turning out to, as a result of these programs, we are getting the result that 27 crore people came out of the poverty. And at the same time, please appreciate, when we are saying we are doing this, we are not losing sight on growth. 7.1% growth average in last 11 years, if I remove the 2 corona years. And at the same time, inflation is 4.3%. You will be surprised with one data. If you take the 20 large economies of the world, no economy is growing at 7.1%. Forget about anything. 20 large, I'm not saying first 3, first 5, first 10, 20 large economies. If a small country having a population of 5 lakh, if that is growing at 10%, we can't compare our country with that.
Correct.
But I'm saying 20 large economy. As a result, I'm giving one data to your viewers that in 2014, our rank in the world as far as the size of the economy is concerned was 10th. In 2021, we reached 5th. In 2025, we reached 4th. In 2027 or early part of 2028, we are 100% we are going to reach 3rd. And the size of Indian economy right now is around 330 lakh crore, which was around 100 lakh crore in 2014. Means more than double jump.
Yeah.
100 लाख करोड़ से 330 लाख करोड़ हुई इकोनॉमी. सो ये कोई अचानक से आनंद जी कोई मिरेकल तो है नहीं, गवर्नमेंट इंटरवेंशन और पॉलिसी इंटरवेंशन से ही होगा.
Correct. And if you have to give welfare, unless you are creating wealth, you can't do welfare. It's not come at the cost of wealth creation, is what you're saying, because आप कह रहे हैं कि GDP growth has been and your growth has been 7.1%.
Correct. एक और डेटा आनंद जी, क्योंकि कई व्यूअर्स आपके ये जरूर मेरे से भी डिस्कस करते हैं कि साहब ये तो हो गया एक्सट्रीम पॉवर्टी इरेडिकेशन के. मिडिल इनकम ग्रुप जो मोस्ट ऑफ योर व्यूअर्स लाइक यू मी बोथ ऑफ अस आर आल्सो मिडिल इनकम ग्रुप फैमिलीज. हमारे लिए क्या हुआ आनंद जी? 2.5 लाख रुपए का बेसिक एग्जम्पशन था 2014 में. आज 12 लाख रुपए का बेसिक एग्जम्पशन है. दैट इज हम दोनों के जेब में डिस्पोजेबल इनकम बढ़ाई ना. 2.5 लाख से 12.5 lakh from 2.5 lakh which was the basic exemption in income tax in 2014. Today it is 12 lakh. 12 lakh rupees or 12.5 lakh rupees is the basic exemption in 2020 FY 2025. तो मिडिल इनकम ग्रुप के डिस्पोजेबल इनकम पूरी, फिर एक और मैंने एक एनालिसिस किया पिछले 40 साल में, इन लास्ट 40 years, हाईएस्ट स्टॉक मार्केट रिटर्न्स वर इन लास्ट 11 years
11 years.
एवरेज। कैसे आप यू कांट से ये अपने आप हो जाएगा, इंडियन इकोनॉमी अपने आप चलती। भाई, देर इज ए वेरी सॉलिड गवर्नमेंट इंटरवेंशन, देर इज ए वेरी सॉलिड टू द पॉइंट इंटरवेंशन कि भैया ये कैसे होता है, ये इसको बढ़ाना है। तो स्टॉक मार्केट में अगर सबसे ज्यादा रिटर्न है, बेसिक एग्जम्पशन 2.5 से 12.5 हुई, तो आनंद जी, पीपल लाइक यू एंड मी एंड मोस्ट ऑफ योर व्यूअर्स शुड बी हैप्पी ऑन दैट।
True. Some states also, कुछ interesting आंकड़े हैं. Some states which had more than say about 65% higher poverty in 2011-2012. States like बिहार का 69.6% था, करीब 70% था. उत्तर प्रदेश 67.2% था in 2011-2012. Odisha was 66.3% 2011-20. Karnataka was 45.9%, around 46%. These are the top at the top level in terms of poverty. And if you look at it, population-wise, UP, Bihar are highly populous states, carry bulk of the nation's population also. In there, the numbers have dropped to or improved, let's say, to 23.3% and 32.1% Bihar and UP. Now, आप भी erstwhile बिहार के ही हैं, अभी आप now you would say you hail from Jharkhand, so I know the Jamshedpur connection. So I just want to understand, how has this happened despite the COVID years when a lot of the labor, the migrant labor actually came back to UP, came back to Bihar, and despite that there is an improvement in the higher poverty rates, and that number has come down from 53.6% of the population to just about 69.6% population, 23.3%, and 67.2% to 32.1%. How has this happened in these two states? क्योंकि इन दोनों states को तो बीमारू कहा जाता था.
The first and foremost policy intervention by these state governments at both the states is the law and order. I recall we used to live in erstwhile Bihar, and if the train reaches the station at 2 o'clock in midnight, we have to sit at the station till 6 p.m. in the morning.
Correct.
And then we used to go to our home. And now things have changed. There is a clear-cut rule of law in both the states. There is a clear-cut, very strong law and order messaging by the state governments. As a result, what is happening? People are entrepreneurs. People were having ideas in the past also. But the law and order was creating a major problem, number one. Number two, the corruption. The corruption levels in both the states had come down to a last level. I recall every day whenever we used to take newspaper in Bihar or Lucknow or Banaras, the major news ki चारे में इतना चले गया, लैंड जॉब फॉर लैंड में इतना पैसा, लैंड फॉर जॉब में इतना चले गया. Now there is a corruption free environment in these two states. That is the second reason. Number three, as a result of these two things, lot of their domestic investments, the people who want to invest from these states, they used to invest in other states.
Okay.
Now they are starting their SME industry or the mid-sized industry or even the large industry. They are starting the offices in these states. As a result, what is happening? These states are creating employment there itself. These states are improving quality of life for their citizens in those states. As a result, we are seeing there is a drastic reduction in the extreme poverty index. So, if I will summarize my last 90 seconds, I will say, number one, law and order. Number two, corruption eradication from the state. Number three, the better vision was provided in both the states by respective state governments.
Professor Saab, we have to do a longer economy pe charcha very soon. We'll invite you to our studios to have that conversation. But for the moment, I'll wind it up on that note. Thank you very much. Wonderful speaking with you, and wish you all the best in your tenure. Thank you.
Thank you, Anandji. All the best.
Namaste.
Network 18 is now the clear leader in digital media. with 55% more users on native platforms and social media than Times Internet. Network 18, the undisputed leader of news networks. Way ahead of the times.